Hello, this is Hero, bringing you some more Dark Souls PvP for once. Now, this is Bluebee898. His name on PSN is Bluebee898, but he much prefers to be called Matt, I believe. It's not something I particularly understand, but I guess everyone has their own preferences for their online anonymity, that kind of a thing. I prefer personally to be called by my username by people I only know on the internet, but I am not opposed to people knowing my name in real life, but that's besides the point because this is Dark Souls PvP and that is not talk about Dark Souls PvP. Who says I was being tangential? Anyway, Bluebee is extremely experienced at this game. It took about an hour for us to get connected, so I thought maybe we weren't going to get to fight after all, but honestly, an hour to get connected is not much time considering the amount of time that I've spent trying to get connected to some other people. I've gone for maybe an hour, 2 hours with some random people in the US. Of course, that was on my old internet, and basically when I've been trying to get into matches with people over my new internet on my phone, I've been, oh, that was a fantastic parry on the stairs right there. Predicted me absolutely perfectly. But people have been, whenever we've been setting up any matches, we've been trying to get together, and people have been finding me pretty much either right away, as was the case with Eric Arianto, or maybe I don't show up somewhere for a little while and then we switch to a different area and suddenly I do. And oh, see, I got the parry there, but I still took the damage, so I died. It was one of those weird network parries, or that used to happen in Demon Souls in PvE a whole lot. You get the parry, but you still take the full amount of damage for some reason. Now, Bluebee is exceptionally experienced in this game. I don't have an hour, like an hour count or anything in that sort of a realm. Like if I've got maybe a total of about 1,500 hours so far, I think Bluebee would maybe have somewhere in the realm of 2,000, maybe 3,000 hours. I'm not exactly sure because he hasn't actually ever said anything about it, so I might ask him after that, or if he watches this video, he might just comment on it, because Bluebee, if anything, is extremely prolific on YouTube and on Dark Souls related just forums everywhere, talking to everyone. I've noticed he's pretty much got his fingers in every Dark Souls YouTube commentator's content that I've seen. He's in Polygoing Off a lot. I wanna speak to. I've had some good communication with Polygoing Off. He's actually, I think he's just called Polygoing at the moment, because I think when the Google Plus change came and he changed his name to just Polygoing, I think, and he's commented on quite a few of my videos, so quite happy to have that because I enjoy his content and I enjoy the fact that he enjoys some of my content, and that was a well-earned defeat by Bluebee just there. Oh well, I had a well-earned defeat, he had a well-deserved win. But man, these fights were amazing, because they're like a lot of my fights lately actually with Eric and with the Visionary. They've just been absolutely fantastic, just nice and tense and fast-paced, and I know I do an exceptional amount of sideways dodging for no reason. Like you'll see, I have a very and I'm not quite sure what you'd call it. I think I have like a very, very loose, I think Pan once described it as that, a very loose playstyle where I kind of zigzag all over the playing field a bit, and it can make me a little bit hard to predict, but it can also be just a little bit sloppy in my opinion, and I would like to tighten some aspects of it up, which is why I'd like to learn how to toggle. And toggling, by the way, nice segue, is something that Bluebee is very, very, very good at. If you hadn't noticed already, he pretty much every time I manage to hit him, he is toggling to something else, and this is because I think he's learned when basically he is going to be able to get a nice trade. Like if he's going to trade with me, then he wants to toggle out of that stun, and that's something that I'm going to be trying to take into my own repertoire lately. So I've switched to the Iaido here and just managed to get him with a quick R2 after I've been using the Uchigatana. That was a well-deserved backstab there. I did the R2 with the server. So See, that was a good backstab. So, Bluebee is, or Matt, sorry, sorry mate, I keep calling you Bluebee, but it's only because I got your name in the top right corner right here. I'm trying to internalize the fact that your name is Matt. So, he, from what I know at least, I know he does a fair bit of PvP, and he's gotten, I think lately especially, a bit bored with the entire PvP scene, because there's this late in the game's life cycle, because let's just face it, the game is getting old. The game is getting exceptionally old now, and it's not a pretty reality, but it is a reality that we have to face, that this thing that we love to do, that we have to find creativity in ourselves at the moment, is slowly dying out. And depending on how Dark Souls 2 goes, and depending on how that PvP scene goes, it's going to be much harder to get, fights like this going until people get off that hype train and they realize that the game's maybe not as good as they thought it will. Not that I'm saying that it won't be as good as as good as we are hoping it would be. I hope it's fantastic. I hope it's absolutely fantastic. But I can't say that for the moment, because I tried the Dark Souls 2 beta, and I really liked it. I really liked the PvE. It was absolutely fantastic, I thought. That's a phrase that I'm quite fond of, apparently. But I'm not too sure about the PvP. I mean, it was fine, it was functional. And I do like the fact that backstabs can actually miss now. Like, if you roll out of the way at the right time, the opponent, if they try to hit you with the backstab, they'll do the little, like, the whiffing animation, like they'll just punch the air, and then you can just roll out of the way. And that was a little predicted parry there, because I'd noticed that Matt had been moving around and then moving close up to me to get the S-Stock two-handed R2 for whatever reason. I don't know if he was using a Leo ring or Havel's ring. I'm not quite too sure. And I thought I'd get him with that R2, that two-handed R2 with the plow. I think it's called the plow. And going back to the Dark Souls 2 thing, I enjoyed the PvP. It was fine. It was functional for the most part. I actually didn't experience any more than 1 or 2 errors with the entire thing, which is a fair bit less than I thought there'd be. I thought there'd be, errors everywhere, but I guess, it's kind of good that that's a reason. And I have seen other YouTubers who have put their beta things up, get error codes and that sort of a thing, but I didn't see any of that. I was kind of surprised. But then again, I didn't do any of the, ooh, that was a nice, he stunned me with the Murakumo, and then he went around for the while I was in the stunned animation, he got the backstab on me, and that's absolutely fine. I don't have anything against that, happening every once in a while. I mean, I don't particularly love getting stun BS'd every match, but if you do that once in a while, that's absolutely, like, I've got no problem with that. There's nothing to have a problem with, If I want to avoid stun BS, then I guess I should learn to toggle. But yeah, I didn't actually find myself getting invaded until probably about the second hour of the beta for the 3 hours that we got to play it. And ooh, that was did you see what he did there? It was a little reverse roll. See, these are some of the techniques that you can look out for in a Dark Souls player to tell if they're advanced or not, because you'll see me when I fight, I do unlock and stuff, and I do try and do the be a little bit, and I do the menu switching thing, not particularly well at the moment, but see, I tried to get the stun BS there with the left-handed bastard sword because I broke his poise, and I wanted to jump behind and get the BS, but it didn't land. But I don't do the reverse roll thing. I don't do the reverse roll backstab thing that everyone seems to be able to do almost effortlessly at the moment. I don't know how to coordinate my fingers to do it, because it seems like it's yeah. See, if you run around with your back exposed, you're gonna get backstabbed. And see, I don't know how to, I know how to do it. I know you use your your thumb and your fingers to hit the roll and unlock at the same time as you roll backwards, so that you end up behind your opponent, so that you can immediately backstab them. But I don't exactly know the mechanics. I don't have the coordination for it yet, and I guess that's another thing alongside learning to toggle that I'd maybe like to learn how to reverse roll, although it's not that high on my list. So Matt changes his armor setup throughout the matches as well, which is kind of interesting because usually when you run into someone to fight them, especially if they have one build, they generally only stick to one armor set because they know exactly like the number of units of weight they have spare in order to. Ooh, that Silver Knight Spear is deadly. But they know exactly the number of units of weight that they have left for weapons at the end of that. So you never find yourself like putting on something new and switching to another weapon, and then all of a sudden you're mid-rolling, and mid-rolling is fine. I mean, it's hard for a player. It's hard for a player to suddenly react to and just be like, "Yep, okay, I'm mid-rolling now," and I don't have all the invulnerability frames that I just had. It's perfectly valid. Like mid-rolling, I certainly learned that when I fought against Warchild, because he's quite a prolific Dark Souls PvPer, and he doesn't fast roll at all really. And I think coming right up is he did the jump attack, which the jump attack is fantastic with the scythe and the halberd class weapons. Just it leaves you open for a roll BS, and I think because I'd been so hesitant to actually BS at all throughout all the other fights we'd had, that maybe he didn't expect me to roll BS, or maybe he just did and he made an error in judgment, and that's absolutely fine. I certainly make plenty of errors in judgment in these fights, but there were still lots and lots of fun. And yeah, as I was saying, Bluebee, he changes his armor setup a whole lot, and he's very creative with his use of weapons. He likes to use pretty much, I think I've seen pretty much everything, because he's using a quality build as well, I believe. And usually when I see a quality build, I start to think it's like mine, because I have the Ring of Favor and Protection and the Darkwood, no, not the Darkwood Grain Ring, what's it called? The Havel's Ring, that's right. I have Havel's Ring because I need the extra weight for the strength weapons that I like to use. Well, I don't really need it, but I like to have it so that I can wield, two heavy-ish weapons at once, like the Zweihander and a Claymore or something, which is 18 units, or a Zweihander and a Greatsword, which is 22 units, which I can wield if I'm wearing the Havel's Ring. But he can also, as we see a little bit later on in this fight, see if you can spot it, see if you can spot the moment where it happens, can also switch to 2 extra rings, so that only leaves me to conclude that Bluebee doesn't have the Ring of Favor and Protection on, which means that he doesn't have that extra 20% health, stamina, and equip load that I have, obviously. And look at me mid-rolling because I have the Murakumo and the Zweihander. Excuse me, I don't know what's happening right now. My throat's gone a bit dry, and I just took a bit of water, and apparently my voice has gone a bit squeaky now. Yeah, he switched to the Darkwood Grain Ring, and I think later on he manages to switch to both the Darkwood Grain Ring and the Red Tearstone Ring, which obviously means that he doesn't have the and look at that! That was the second R2, the second one-handed R2 of the halberd, the scythe, it's the halberd. What am I talking about? It's the halberd R2, the one-handed halberd R2. I didn't even know up until Asset of Fights that it had a second R2 after that first one, because I think pretty much everyone, except for Bluebee apparently, when they use the halberd and did the R2, and it was this slow ass, like, staggery, whoa, sort of, just throw the halberd out in front of you sort of attack. It, that you went, well, that attack sucks, and they're probably never going to use it again. You never pressed the R2 a second time to see if it had another attack, but apparently they do. The normal halberd, the scythe, the gargoyle halberd, all of them have that second R2, and that was just a little bit of a parry there. Now, also, I've neglected to mention up until now, and I don't know how I've quite forgotten, but I've just hit 100 subscribers, which is definitely a milestone. It means I hit my 3-digit subscriber mark, which is wonderful. Thank you very, very much to everyone who has liked, subscribed, commented. Especially comments help me more than likes do at this moment, because I love communicating with people. It's one of my favorite parts of doing this. That's why I do the commentary, to get my opinion out there so that you can get your opinion to me. And I tried to do a little roll BS there, and instead I got smacked with the scythe. And to celebrate my 100 subscribers, I've changed the look of my channel a little bit. I've changed my little banner thing that goes up the top, and it was with a drawing a commission that I got done to represent the character and the armor set that I view as me at the moment, and that was drawn by Bluebee, by Matt. I commissioned that, and he had that done in a much faster time than I thought he'd have it done, because honestly, when I think commission, I don't think, oh good, this is going to be done in like 6 days, but it was, and I was absolutely flabbergasted. And right there I tried to be cheeky and get the kick off the backstab wake up, and he got the roll BS off the wake up, and somehow didn't manage to kill me. I think I've got like 11 or 12 points there in my health. But yeah, Matt drew that image up there, so he is to thank for that. And look at this, we got a little invader. A nice invader with 658 health points. Jesus Christ. And he's wearing some interesting armor, and I guess he's a little bit creative. He's not wearing just the normal shit stuff with the what's called the Mask of the Father. He's not wearing all that, and he's got the Murakuma, so all of his stats must have been in to wield his weapon that he wanted to wield, and none of it into vitality apparently. So yeah, these have just been some absolutely fantastic, just off-the-cuff fights, because we never fought each other up to this point, and I'm extremely glad that we did, because right now I want to do nothing but get back together again and have another few fights, because he's a very good fighter right now. And to anyone else who may want to fight me at all, just please don't be afraid to contact me. Just hit me up either over YouTube personal message, or send me a message on Twitter, or over Twitch, or any of the locales that I'm available on over the internet. Just don't be afraid, send me a message. You don't have to be an uploader. Definitely don't have to be an uploader, it's alright. I'd just like to get a bit of experience fighting people while the game is still a little bit active before Dark Souls 2 comes out, because I am on summer holidays now, and I just finished my last exam yesterday, so it was on a Thursday. It was on the 14th of November, so I'm going to be getting this out hopefully tomorrow, maybe tonight, I don't know. This video is going to be uploaded very, very soon. And we are moving on to the very last fight, and I'll say now that this isn't the only video you're going to see with me and Bluebee fighting, because I had enough footage, and it was enough absolutely great footage that I wanted to be able to get everyone else to see all of it too. So I won't be speaking over a fair bit of the next part, but I will be putting some music on it. I am going to be speaking for some of it, but I'm going to also be putting some music over the next 20-minute video, because it's pretty much as long as this one is right now. and I think people should see it because Matt is an exceptional fighter and I do look forward to fighting him again. So thank you for watching up until now, and thank you everyone for 100 subscribers, and thank you Matt for these great fights, and thank you for the great drawing as well. I've been enjoying commentating this in my new microphone setup. I think it might sound a little bit better. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.